We passed Bon Jovi's house when I was a kid. My dad told me, he said, those are rich people, but we'll never be rich. It was something I was told I couldn't do. And if you tell me I can't do something, just give me a little bit, I'll figure it out.
This week on Cleared for Takeoff, I have Dan Big D Sachkowsky here. Dan is a serial entrepreneur who's built many businesses and sold them successfully.
I don't touch my phone for the first 2 hours of the day.
That is such a hard thing to do.
As soon as you wake up, you grab your phone and you're checking in on everybody else but yourself and your family. You've allowed the world to dictate the rest of your day. Discipline is the root of everything that you do. And that's what people don't understand. Oh, you're a coach? People pay you? Yeah. You pay to go to college. You went to college. They taught you out of a book, but they never used the shovel. I used the shovel, sold the shovel, bought another shovel, sold that shovel too. So at the end of the day, I could teach you how to use a shovel.
Why doesn't achievement alone fix the insecurities we have?
Milestones will continue, right? So people have a goal, and once they hit that goal, now they feel empty because there's no fulfillment anymore. I made a lot of money. I lost a lot of money. Who cares? My success was about me. Once you remove yourself from the equation and you make it about someone else, I've got 3 kids that need to live by understanding that it's more than you. Everyone said, do you regret going bankrupt at 24? I said, absolutely not. It was one of the best lessons I ever learned in my life. The biggest mistake I made was
Dan Big D Sachkowsky. It's good to have you, man. Thanks for coming.
Appreciate it, man.
So you're really known for this idea of discipline. Like, obviously you've got your own podcast. You do a lot of cool stuff. You speak, you inspire people, but I want to talk to you about discipline because I think it's one of those things that leaders can struggle with. You know, I know that I do. If I don't have a trainer meeting me at the gym, I won't do it. Mm-hmm. And, you know, beyond obviously physical fitness, help me understand what discipline is and how you've developed your muscle of discipline through the years.
Well, so I think discipline starts with desire. Like, you have to desire something greater than you are and where you are. And then you have to figure out the discipline to get there. The steps it's going to take, all of the little things that you have to do day in and day out to get to that place. A lot of people think just because they have an idea, just because they want to be somewhere, they're just going to arrive. It doesn't work that way. So I believe my discipline started when I was younger. I was in the fitness world. I was a fat kid when I grew up, and then I got involved in the gym.
So you grew up as a fat kid?
Fat kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So deep down, you're like, I'm going to fix this.
Yeah. So I started playing football,
Yep.
Started working out, you know, and I didn't know any difference. That my parents comforted me with food, you know, like that's the way we did it. I still played sports. So I just had a fat gene in me that I couldn't get rid of. Once I got introduced to the weight room and once I started seeing a difference of what could be, I became super disciplined. I started like reading Flex magazine back in the day, just really doing things at an age of 15 and 16 that most people were doing. I was meal prepping, measuring my food.
In like high school?
In high school.
In high school.
Yeah.
That's better than most students would do.
Bringing tuna fish and string beans to lunch for school that smelled, but I knew that it was good for you. Like straight up, no mayonnaise, no nothing, just a can of tuna fish and raw string beans, you know? And I just started seeing the change. And I remember my senior year, like I was jacked, dude. I mean, wearing a tank top, my back muscles, everything. And that's just something that I never thought I would see. But a lot of times people don't become disciplined because they don't see the action, you know, taking course, and they don't see the result soon enough. You know, and especially in today's day and age, we live in a shake and bake microwave generation where everyone wants to hit the 30-second button. That's why everyone's doing all this stuff. Lose weight, do this, do that. But at the end of the day, there's no quick way to get anywhere good. But if you want to get there faster, you've got to be disciplined and figure out what that's got to look like.
So you said it starts with desire.
Yeah.
Right? And I think about desire, and with social media and scrolling, you know, every time you move your thumb, there's like some new idea or fad or thing or product. You know, how do you hone in on the stuff that matters that actually moves the needle for you?
If I told you how many hours a week I spend on social media, you wouldn't believe me. Less than one.
Less than an hour
a week.
Yet you're kicking out tons of social media content.
Pay people to do it.
So you don't even engage.
I engage. I engage in
You don't consume.
I don't consume. I engage in my DMs, you know, when they're important. I have people who tell me if they're important. It's just not a sales pitch. Hey, answer this DM. Hey, do this. Like, I have people like who are overlooking everything. And going back to desire is the starting point of all achievement. And everything looks shiny. Everything looks good. But if you lose focus on the goal just because something's shiny, you don't want it bad enough. And that's just kind of the way I put it.
I think about building businesses and selling them, right? I've built one and sold one. The current business I'm in, I've been doing for 23 years. You've done a lot more than that. How do you know the things you need to do to build a successful business and sell it when it comes to the discipline to create something that somebody's actually going to pay you for?
So you don't just start a business and sell it. You've got to learn all the things that you need throughout. So my first business was a major success in the beginning, but a major failure at the end. So 17 to 24 made just under $4 million, profit. That was net profit.
By the time you were 24,
lived in an almost 5,000 square foot house.
What was the business?
It was a construction business.
Yeah.
Living in almost a 5,000 square foot house at 24. My neighbor's kids were older than I was. Escalades, S55 AMG, everything. Why? Because I got portrayed an image as a child, and there was something on TV called MTV Cribs.
I remember that.
And the image of success was stuff.
So
I was like, if I work my ass off, I'm going to have a whole bunch of stuff.
Yep.
And that's going to satisfy me. So,
and at 24, what do you know, right?
You don't know nothing. I had everything. But it wasn't that I felt empty. It's that when it was all gone, I realized I chased a dream that's never going to amount to anything. I had no purpose. My purpose was to accumulate things to look like something. So that taught me a major lesson. So I was disciplined enough to get the stuff, but I wasn't disciplined enough to keep it. So now things got to change. So I think every single season of our life, when things get better and greater, we learn something. Two things happen. People try to go through something. And when they try to go through something, it takes an enormous amount of time to go through it because they have an emotional attachment to it. Or you're going to figure out how to grow through it. And if you grow through it, you pull the lessons out of it and you figure out, okay, this happened, this is why this happened. And here's what I need to make happen next time. So the quicker you can work on going from the go to the grow through, your life will just change.
So how do you know what you need to, how do you know where you need to grow?
So at that time, I was young, I was cocky, and I was confident.
And you were very muscular, apparently.
Yeah, I was big. So
you had the trifecta.
Yeah, I had to draw the fine line of, do I want to be cocky or do I want to be confident? Because cocky was like, I know I'll get it, whatever. I can do whatever. Like, I live this life. Confident was knowing that I'm going to get it no matter what. I'm going to figure it out. But when I hit that rock bottom portion of my life, and I had 2 sons already at a young age, and I walked home that day and they were both breathing, they were alive, and they were excited to see me. I go, dude, I was doing everything for the wrong reasons. So I said, okay, number one, I need purpose now, not just passion for material, I need purpose. Number 2, what's the one thing that I was missing over the course of the last 7+ years that I would do different? Everyone said, do you regret going bankrupt at 24? I said, absolutely not. It was one of the best lessons I ever learned in my life. And I don't think I would be the man I am today if I didn't go through that. The biggest mistake I made was I didn't ask for help. So I had a mentor early on, 16 years old. So Rich Dad, Poor Dad's a book that everyone reads, right?
So good.
I had a rich dad and I had a poor dad. My dad was my poor dad. My rich dad was a guy, Dave. He was the only job I ever had for 1 year of my life.
So you were living the book.
I was living the book.
Yeah.
And Dave told me when I was 17, leaving high school, he said, I believe in you. Bro, I had tunnel vision at that point. I didn't care what else he said. I didn't care what else he did. I didn't care what else was going on. Someone just told me, I've never heard that in 17 years, that someone believed in me. But that was my fuel. Dave's like, you're not ready. I'm like, I'm ready. You already told me you believed in me. That means I can do it. So everything else got turned off. So I regretted the fact that now I was confident enough to go after it, but I wasn't disciplined enough to listen. So if I would have just listened to Dave, I would have learned how to control it. I would have learned about money fluctuation. I would have learned about market fluctuation. I was in business and a good market. I never saw a bad market till the phone stops ringing and I'm blown through $1 million in cash that I have, and now it's almost all gone. So if I would have just asked for help, that's when I hired my first coach when I was 24, because I knew I couldn't do it by myself.
I want to ask you about coaching. Before we do that, though, I want to ask you, you had said you got to have a reason bigger than just material stuff, money, more. And you mentioned your kids. How important were your kids in that drive that you developed?
So I think if I didn't have kids that young, I may have maybe not came back so fast, but my back was against the wall and I had a couple reasons why I need to figure it out.
Two pretty good ones.
Right. So when you have some reasons why you got to figure it out, you're going to make a decision, or you're going to have people try to feel bad for you, but nobody cares. So those kids were important for me, and they were young. I mean, bro, 3 years old and a year and a half, young.
Yeah.
And, but I saw life beyond that. And I saw something that was bigger. And what I realized was that they can, even though they're young and they don't understand, they can never see me give up. I've seen
in you were like, I can't let my kids see me quit.
I've already achieved more than my entire family.
Yeah.
At this point in my life. And I've already lost more than my entire family. I've stepped out of my comfort zone. I've stepped out of everyone's comfort zone. And I did things that people thought were impossible. And I made them possible. But I knew that if I was able to do it once, I can do it again. But now I have to figure out how I put all this stuff together. And my driving reason was to show these kids, no matter how old they are from today to back then, that no matter how tough life gets, beat out of it right back.
And you think those lessons were things that they saw you live?
So let's put it this way. My daughter is about to be 16.
Mine too.
Great age, let me tell you. We wish we could hit them with a spoon like our parents did, right? Oh.
Dude, I was looking at pictures the other day of when she was like 7 or 8, and I was like, I miss her.
Dude, I was watching a video today. My daughter was probably like 8 years old. She's sitting on a rocking chair at the boardwalk eating an ice cream cone. Yeah. I'm like, where's that kid, man? Oh. I was literally on a plane watching.
You're like, I just missed this little version, and now you're like kind of a grown up.
Yeah, you talk to me like you're older to me. Yeah.
Yeah. Like they know more.
Like they know more. Yeah. Oh, they know more. So my daughter at 8 years old. So you asked, like, do I think they knew, or how did they know? 9 years old, she was asked to write something in school. Who's the strongest person you know? You know what she wrote? My dad, because no matter what life throws at him, he never gives up.
Stop it. At
8 years old.
So she knew this.
She knew it.
How did she know it? You must have been talking to her.
Failed business. She wasn't around. Successful. She was around. You know, towards the back half of it. Then another failed business. She was around. You know,
she watched you.
Crazy marriage, you know, through almost, you know, into a divorce. She was around. My daughter's the reason why I divorced my ex-wife.
Really?
Yeah. Because I knew for my boys, like both of my boys are business owners today. They're successful. And I knew I could instill the man behind them and what they needed to do in the business world. My daughter at 8 years old says, why don't you sleep in bed with mommy? And a light bulb just goes off in my head like, all right, so she just asked me this at 8. My boys never ask me this because they don't care. They don't know what's going on. They don't care. Girls have different emotions. So if I continue to do this, what am I doing to my daughter? Forget about my ex-wife. Who cares? It's already done. What am I doing to my daughter? I'm teaching her that this is okay. She's going to inherit this behavior. She's going to be with a man who doesn't give her the relationship she deserves. And I'm just going to make that okay. So literally the next week I filed for divorce.
That must have been hard.
Listen, I mean, at the end of the day, it wasn't hard for me because, bro, we already knew what was coming. And then my ex-wife made it totally like dramatic divorce, like crazy, dumb. But I became very close to my kids because of certain patterns that I wasn't willing to take on. And me and my daughter are super close.
So you decided after hearing her say that, you were like, the example I'm setting for my daughter and my kids is not the picture of what real love is and should be.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to do the right thing for them because we already know this thing's over. And so you did it.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a part of you that didn't want to?
I wanted to for a long time.
So you guys were ready.
Mm-hmm.
You just needed to take action.
Beyond ready. And I was never one to say, "Oh, when my kids are 18, we'll let them go through school." But I just didn't know. Like, I knew how to load the gun. I just didn't know how to pull the trigger. You know, and basically, my daughter was like, "All right, polish that bitch up. Let's go. It's time to pull the trigger." You know what I mean? And it just hit me. Like it's time.
Yeah. So how did that translate into the rest of you? Because then you went on to build another business, and you said that one
Sold. Yeah.
sold. And then you had a big life event a few years ago.
Yeah. So as I was building this last company that I had, the company, was doing up $30 million in revenue. I was not working too much in the company, 20 hours a week, maybe, a couple hours a day, checking in, not going to the office. And then 4 years ago, I had a major heart episode.
What happened?
So I was actually with my daughter. Her mom had picked her up. I was at my office this day. Her mom had picked her up from my office. We were just running around doing stuff, and it was super hot. It had to be 90 something degrees and humid. I didn't take my blood pressure medicine for like 3 days. My daughter's like, "Oh, could we stop and get a soda and get a sandwich?" Like stuff that I don't eat. So now I got all this salt, sugar, all this stuff that I don't have. I haven't taken my blood pressure medicine. The heat, I probably haven't drank enough water that day. And as soon as she picks her up, no less than 5 minutes later, wrist to wrist, my whole body goes numb. And my entire, like from my chest to my stomach was on fire. I didn't know what was going on. So ambulance comes, get in the ambulance, head to the hospital. And if you've ever watched a show where like people are dying in the show, I don't really watch much TV, but I'm just taking it back. If you do see stuff like throughout childhood and now, it's all the same. Like people have these visions in the ambulance. That's exactly what happened to me. I blacked out, dude. I didn't know what was going on. I remember texting my kids. My one son wasn't talking to me for a couple of years up until this point. And I remember texting my kids like, "I love you. I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. Like, this is it."
So you thought you were done.
Dead, dude. Dead.
Yeah.
Like I was delusional. I had no idea what was going on.
But you thought this was it.
This is it. And I wasn't panicking because it was happening. I was panicking because I wasn't ready. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't ready to.
You had so much more to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after I get to the hospital, they're asking me all these questions. They're like, what kind of drugs were you doing? And this, I'm like, what are you talking about? I have no idea what they're even talking about. And I'm like, call my doctor. I got something going on with my heart. He's been regulating it. Like, dude, I'm not the smartest guy when it comes to that stuff. Like, they take charts. You want to know what's going on? Call my doctor. Like, the doctor's like, "I'm going to explain this to you." I don't really care. Just tell me what I need to do. Like, less information is better for me. So my doctor's not in the network. So for 3 days, I'm in a hospital. They're not calling the doctor. I literally walked out of the hospital. So what ended up happening is my aortic valve was split. It split open. I was bleeding internally. And I was like almost in a point of having a stroke because my blood pressure was so high. And the cardiac state where I was in, if I didn't eat the couple aspirin that I did before I went to the hospital and drink the water, I probably would have had a stroke or something would have happened.
So since that event, what has changed in the way you look at things?
So that first day laying in the hospital,
because you thought you were going to be dead.
Yeah. So once I came to the realization, like, and you still, like, when you're in the hospital, you're sitting there and they're hooking you up and they're checking you every 30 minutes. Like, you don't even know what's going on. Like people are coming there. You're just not there. So by the time I like kind of came back to the world and, I was there, probably that night, because this happened like in the afternoon. So probably that night or the next morning. I literally sat there. I'm like, all right, well, I'm good. I feel okay. You know what I mean? And then I said, if I would have just died last night or yesterday, 15 years from today, nobody would talk about anything I've done in my life because I impacted nobody. I said, so how do I take a change? Because I made a lot of money. I lost a lot of money, built a lot of stuff, had a lot of stuff. Who cares? There's no legacy there. I've got 3 kids that need to live by understanding that it's more than you. It's more than what you do, more than what you provide. So I said, God, as soon as I walk out of this place, I'm going to change lives. For the last 2 businesses of mine, I've been the CEO. 90+% of people I know in business are operators. They don't have a life. They're strapped to their business. They're an underpaid employee. They work. They can't not answer a phone call. They can't not put out an email, cannot be there for a fire. That's no life to live. I'm going to help every single person I know that's in business change their life and become in charge of their life and become the CEO of their life and their business so they can actually live a good life, not a draining one.
So this was an inflection point where you said, I want to leave a bigger impact on the world than just what, just building a business.
Yep.
You want to coach people and help them.
Yep.
So how did you decide what you wanted to, how did you decide what you wanted to do?
Well, I just knew like where I was and all the help that I had getting to where I was. And if it wasn't for that help that I paid for, I would have never been at a point that I was. And I understood that I had to go out there and find the people who were in the places that I wanted to be and allow myself to be okay with paying them for the shortcut.
Yeah.
And the cheat code.
Yeah.
And most people, they want to learn themselves. It's a difficult path. Bodybuilders don't learn themselves. We just copy what other people have done. Anyone who's done anything significant in this world has done it based off of plagiarism. If somebody else did it, they did it the same and not better, and that's just the way it is. In school, we get scolded and yelled at and suspended and wrote up if we plagiarize something. But in the world of business, if you plagiarize, you're a genius. Nobody gets that.
So, yeah, the science of business has been figured out. Mm-hmm. And I love the idea around going after something with help, mentorship. I have a few mentors in my life. I'm also a part of a peer group called SOAR, where it's a round table of people that are kind of my level or above. And I learned so many things from those people. But I think having coaches and mentors is crazy. You think about like the best people in the world, like Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
At the peak of her career, her coach doesn't sing better than she does, but she certainly has multiple coaches helping her become the best version of herself. And it's so funny. We look at celebrities and athletes and we're like, well, of course they have coaches. And then we go into business and we're like, I don't need a coach.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious to me because I don't think I would be sitting in front of you with the business I have if I did not have coaches. It's wild.
Same.
So when you think about, I think there's a lot of buzzwords in business, especially for the young folks listening to this, that, they hear things like discipline, respect, confidence, what's the difference between being cocky and confident. But I want to understand, you talk about discipline being reliable over confidence. What does that mean? That discipline is more reliable than confidence?
So discipline is how you show up. Confidence is how you believe you should be. If you're not disciplined in doing things and having tasks and having the arrangement in your daily activities, you're not going to get the result that you're confident enough to know that you could achieve. So if you're confident enough to know that you deserve it, you can earn it, you're not just going to get it. How do you get it? You instill discipline. You instill your daily activities, your motions, and your plan of attack to go after it. So what I mean is when you prepare yourself, right? When preparation meets opportunity, that's where success lives.
Yep.
And if you're disciplined enough to be prepared for your day every day and your mission every single day, inevitably, you're going to win.
Okay, so I like to believe we all do the best we can, right? We're all doing
That's not good enough.
right. So that's where I want to ask you when you say you institute discipline. How do I figure out if I'm not instituting enough discipline, and where do I go with that information?
So what's that old saying? How you do anything is how you do everything, right? So business, life, family, kids, whatever it is. So I'll just kind of run you through my day. Every single day, 5 a.m. up. I don't care if I'm away, if I'm on vacation. I don't care if it's Saturday. I don't care if it's Sunday. 5 a.m. I'm up. I'm in my book, reading. I'm in my journal, journaling. I'm in my Bible every day. 5 to 6:15, 6:20. By about 6:45, I'm in the gym. I'm in the gym for hour and a half, 2 hours a day. Hour workout, half an hour cardio, 20 minutes in a sauna every day. Now what time is it?
So every day, Saturday,
Every
Sunday,
single-
doesn't matter.
So I don't work out physically every day in the weights, but I'm doing cardio and I'm hitting the sauna every day. I'm working out 5 days a week.
So I should do more cardio.
You don't have to. You're skinny.
I got called
Not skinny, but I'm saying you're thinner. You have a thinner frame. I have a wider frame. I have to keep it toned.
That was an all-time high for me. Oh man,
Skinnier. Right?
Oh, I'll take it.
You're thinner. You have a different build. You know, I'm short and wide. And
Dude, I want to be big and wide.
You don't want to be, bro. You don't fit in cars. I got a 7 Series BMW outside that I rented to come here, and I'm like, can't even sit in a car. They're like, you want a Range Rover? I was like, no, I can't fit in those things either.
What do you just need a big truck
I
with
just need like a
bench
big
seat?
Escalade or something. You know what I mean? They didn't have any available. But, you know, that's a good problem to have.
We're going to be good friends after that compliment.
It's also a bad problem to have. So discipline is the root of everything that you do. Here's another discipline. I don't touch my phone for the first 2 hours of the day.
Get out of here.
Every day.
Every day. You don't touch it. Where do you keep it when you sleep?
It's next to me because my alarm goes off just in case I don't get up.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'm in such a deep sleep, dude. If my alarm don't go off, I'll sleep because my body's like, yo, you need rest. But I'll do that. So I'm like usually in bed by 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Every night. And I'm up at 5.
What's your evening routine? I always wondered that with guys that are super regimented like this. What are you doing at night? When do you eat dinner? When do you go to bed? You go to bed at 9. What do you do at night?
So
like here in Minnesota, it gets dark at freaking 5 o'clock in the wintertime. And you're like
Jersey and Florida too. So like eat around 6:30.
Yep.
Done by 7. Wind down. Usually just kind of looking at a couple of things like my GSD, my get shit done list for tomorrow. Like what do I need to do? Make sure my daughter's good. My son's probably just coming home around that time.
You ever watch TV?
Very rarely.
Or YouTube?
Nope.
See, like I love at night sitting down and watching like a podcast or YouTube. I don't know why, but
so I'll listen to my podcast and stuff while I'm working out.
Yep.
Doing cardio in the sauna, that's when I'll listen.
So after dinner, before you're going to bed, you know, between 7 and 9,
I usually like read a little bit more.
Are you prepping for the next day?
No, my week's already planned out. My entire schedule's planned out. I know what I'm doing. I'm weeks ahead of my game.
So when do you plan out your weeks?
My assistant really does it.
Okay.
And then I just kind of put in there what I got to put in. But she knows like nothing starts till 10 a.m. and nothing happens after 5.
Nothing starts till 10 because you're doing your gym, you're doing your personal development, and then nothing happens after 5.
Yep.
It's dinner time, wind down.
Well, just, you know, get everything wound down. If
I'm just always fascinated by guys that are highly regimented in their routine because everybody does it a little different.
You know, I'm not on my phone for the last hour of my day.
So you put it upstairs, plug it in.
Just don't even look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't even look at it. I put it like I just turn the whole like vibrate, everything off. Everything's off. Do not disturb.
That is such a hard thing to do.
It's easy.
I'm trying to get over. I don't know what this is, but for some reason when I get a text message, I can't stand that little red bubble. And I'm not a type A person. I'm not like that. But if I see that little red bubble with a number in it of how many messages, I'm like,
So my screen on my phone, dude, we've been sitting here. I have no notifications on my phone. All my notifications are off. Everything.
Even the little bubble.
Everything.
So you just check that. Actually, that's an interesting idea.
Try it.
So you shut the notifications off altogether.
altogether.
What if somebody's trying to get a hold of you?
My phone will ring. Call
Okay.
me.
Yeah.
Hey, I text you. Okay, well, if you really need me, call me.
I, for some reason, feel obligated to answer every text message within minutes of it coming in. And I don't know how to stop doing that.
It's a problem.
How the heck do I stop doing that?
Stop doing it.
Well, oh, okay. I'm going to shut the notifications off.
Shut
That'll
all
help.
your notifications off. I mean, your social media, everything, so that you have to actually open the app to see what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, that little red bubble.
And then box your time. If you're going to be on social media, say in the morning from 8 o'clock to 8:30, I'm going to hit my messages. I'm going to do what I got to do, whatever. All my posts are scheduled, dude, for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah.
They're already done.
Yeah. I don't know why. And the other thing is, since starting this channel, I'm so obsessed with the growth of this channel. I can't help it. I want to know poor Sarah, the producer of the show. I'm texting her being like, we got this many more subscribers. And she's like, dude, it's 9 o'clock at night. Why are you texting me this? God bless her for putting up with me. But
imagine you only looked every couple of weeks.
oh man,
how much different?
I'm like getting anxiety thinking about it. I think, I don't know. I'm like, I love to know like progress on things.
Progress feels better when you wait, because you're going to start thinking there's a problem. Your Instagram is going to grow. Your YouTube's going to grow, and it's going to exponentially grow, maybe because of one episode. Then it's not going to grow. You're like, what is wrong? What are we doing wrong? That's what you're going to do.
Sarah's laughing right now because she's like, thank God you're saying this right now.
Everything happens in exponential periods. And if we continue to watch it, we make ourselves crazy.
Maybe that's my problem. I feel crazy sometimes. I'm like, what the heck?
You got cows, bro. Imagine you just went out there every day and you were like, all right, well, you guys need to be like 20 pounds heavier. I'm just going to stand here and watch you for the next 3 weeks until you get 20 pounds heavier.
I do check them on every day. They don't grow that fast.
Right. But imagine like you see a baby cow and you don't see the cow for a little while. What's going to happen? Wow. Oh my God, they got so big.
Yeah.
Think about all the things in your life that you don't get to see all the time, but then you see the change.
Yeah. Like when you run into a friend and they have kids and the kids are bigger. You're like, I feel like I just saw you. And their kids are like a foot taller.
Yeah. That's why when I'm working out, I wear a hoodie, I wear a long sleeve shirt, and if I'm like in a different training routine, like I don't want to see nothing. And then I want to see it 90 days from now.
Yeah. That's crazy. Maybe that would make
compulsive, dude.
Maybe I am compulsive. I need to control that better.
It's like you're counting the pieces of rice your kid's putting in their mouth. Oh, it's too many calories. Cut back. Like, just chill.
Yeah. Dude, you're so right.
It's like this, right? So I tell all my clients, I'm like, what do you do first thing in the morning? Check my emails. I go, that's cool. I go, you're f***ing pathetic. They go, what? I go, okay, so all of your clients are more important than you. All of your clients are more important than your family. So as soon as you wake up, you grab your phone and you're checking in on everybody else but yourself and your family. That's cool. But you tell me here in the coaching session that you do everything for your family. That's a lie.
Maybe it's just that early hustle because I built my business from nothing. And I think that early hustle, that inner drive to see progress and like adjust when things aren't going right. But as you get to a certain point, like you said, those changes take longer time. They're more exponential, but they take a longer time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe I think it's just that early hustle I developed because I started hustling when I was like a teenager, early teenager, so I'm always like, what's going on? What do we need to fix?
Same. But you got to learn where to release. Let go of control. Allow other people to do things.
Yeah.
Bro, like your social media, schedule everything and schedule your days. I'm going to look at my social media. I'm going to schedule every 2 days for a couple days out, and I'm going to look at the numbers. I'm on the phone with my friend in the airport today. He's like, bro, like I have a great idea. Like, we're in this podcast group. Did I put you in
East West group?
I put you in that, right? So I started
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He's like, we're in this podcast group and, what we're doing is, we're helping each other out. But imagine we just go back to one of our posts that went viral. He goes, your one post that go viral. I go, what post? Like, I don't even know what post went viral. I'm not even looking. He didn't even know what he's talking about. I'm like, dude, here's what you do. If a post is taking off, you wait at least a week or 2 weeks, then you pin the post. And if you pin that post, every single person who checks out your profile, they look at your first 3 posts. And that post will just keep going and going and going and going. That's how your goes viral. You can't just take a post that was viral 6 months ago and just throw it in and throw a couple comments in there. It's irrelevant. It's not going to go anywhere. So like I was trying to tell him, like, bro, just forget about viral. Allow it to do the work itself.
Yeah.
Numbers don't matter.
Yeah.
Impact does.
Yeah.
Right. How many DMs are you getting? How many people are, chasing you versus you chasing them?
Yeah.
Dude, my inbox blows up. I literally have a girl in my inbox. I literally have to pay her like $100 a day just to take care of my inbox.
Just to take care of your inbox.
And then she filters them and then says, hit this person up, hit this person up.
So you're not, I guess you're not chasing those little dopamine wins like Renee Rodriguez talks about. Mm-hmm. Those little, like, I open the YouTube Studio app all the time and I'm like, what's it at? Refresh. And I'm like, so yeah, maybe I'm going to delete that app for now.
Like my Instagram.
I'm going to let Sarah run that app.
There you go. My Instagram hit 6 million views in 30 days today.
What? 6 million views.
Yeah, like my profile got 6 million views in 30 days.
And you didn't?
I just saw it today.
You're just putting content.
Last time I saw it was like 5.1 million. I just said, hey, consistency, put in an arrow. That's all you got to do. Just be consistent. And that's what I learned early on is like consistency wins every time. If we let go of control, we let go of patterns, and we just allow consistent behavior and discipline play a major role in what we're trying to accomplish, the job's already done.
Yeah. How do you know when to reevaluate if your consistency is being effective then? I mean, if you're not taking an hour by hour pulse on something, how do you make sure your consistency is actually gaining traction?
So it's like going on a scale every day, right? So if you're trying to lose weight or do stuff, like you have fluctuation.
Yeah.
There's people who are so sick that they go on a scale 3 times a day. And they freak out because like they gain 1 pound or 2 pounds, but it's water, it's this, it's that.
You just ate a Chipotle burrito.
Right. So if you're going to do something, do it the same way. I'm going to measure in every Sunday at 5 a.m., empty stomach, or whatever that looks like. Do it the same time, every single time, and you'll start yielding different results.
You're saying lower the frequency and be more patient is what you're saying.
Yep. And consistent.
So when you were bodybuilding, is that kind of how you went about it? You were like, I'm just going to follow the plan we made, and I'm going to check in on my progress less frequently?
Yeah, so I had like really calves back in the day. And my trainer was like, hey, listen, like if you train calves twice a week and you just wear sweatpants and don't look at them, they're going to grow. What do you mean they're going to grow? He goes, just don't look at them. Here's the problem. You're standing in the mirror and you're doing calf raises and you're looking at your calves. You're not focusing on a development. You're focusing on the result. If we don't focus on development, we're not going to get the result. He goes, you're not focusing on going to exhaustion. You're focusing on, oh, look, I can see a little vein, or hey, look, I can see a little cut in the muscle. He goes, hide it, disturb it, grow it, then check it.
Yeah. Yeah. Focus on the action and not the result.
And you'll know 30 days from now if something's going backwards, then you just fix it. But you can't fix something if you're like literally fine-tuning things every single day, trying to micromanage everything going on in your world.
Yeah, it's like a watched pot never boils. Yeah. That's crazy. I mean, it's so true. It's something I really struggle with.
A lot of people do. And that's why a lot of times when I get on stages and stuff, they tell me to talk about discipline. They tell me to talk about branding. They tell me to talk about all those things that matter that take long term. Like people, I'm going to brand myself. Dude, that takes a long time. But if you do it right, it's going to be more impactful than anything else in your life. And that's just what people don't understand. Just because a video went viral don't mean you're branding yourself.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, I've seen people that have insane numbers of views on one video and they don't have many followers. And I'm like, I guess just one viral hit doesn't really matter.
If you look at my entire Instagram, bro, you're not going to see some video of some sort that doesn't have a D in it or a black shirt It's either a black shirt and a D hat, or it could be a white shirt, but there's a D hat or big D hat, big D this, big D that, D this. There's always a brand of a D somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my brand, right? So I've created this brand. I'm not wearing, in the beginning, before I branded myself, I would wear different hats. I probably have over 100 fitted caps, different stuff, just because I would always match my sneaker to my hat or whatever. Now I have all those hats just sitting in the closet.
Yeah.
And I just brand myself.
Just wearing the same thing all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you even get the sweet mug. That's awesome.
Yeah. I have a couple colors.
keep the variety going.
I have this black t-shirt times 30.
Do you wear the same thing every day?
A lot of times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one of those things you hear these high performers. It all kind of started with Steve Jobs being like, I wear the same thing because I don't have to think about it. Mm-hmm. And then I watched Stephen Bartlett do the same thing. And a number of guys, Dan Martell does that.
Dan Martell, blue.
He wears that blue shirt over and over and over again. Yeah. So what I want to understand is
Hormozy.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, same. When you look at achievement for high performers, especially with the clients you coach, why doesn't achievement alone fix the insecurities we have?
So achievement is a milestone in our life just to prove to ourselves we can do something. But it doesn't make us a better person. It doesn't make us a better role model. It doesn't make us a better leader. Achievement has to be greater than something that we're doing to hit a certain milestone. It has to be milestones to continue, right? So people have a goal, and once they hit that goal, now they feel empty because there's no fulfillment anymore. People don't think outside that box once they hit something. So look at the average person today that's, 30 to 50 years old. Their life, bro, is on cruise control. They do the same every day, show up the same place every day, eat the same food every week, have pizza every Friday, same all the time. And their life doesn't change because they hit a point where they're at comfort, and the same thing happens for goals. So once you've hit that goal, you've achieved that goal, now you're disappointed in yourself because you thought it was going to feel so much better.
That is so true.
Your goal has to be so big, and then you have to have this goal to get to that goal to get to that goal. And you got to start just climbing and climbing and climbing. And every time you climb, you make that goal bigger.
I feel like the achievements to me are less, they give me less excitement than seeing other people around me achieve. For some reason, as we've grown, I have found more satisfaction seeing my team have achievement, right? We do an awards dinner every year. And just to see the joy that their achievement brings them makes me happier than any freaking achievement I could have had, published in a magazine or what featured on something. It's like, that's not as cool as watching
because you took your success away from you, and that's good. I did the same thing. In my whole beginning of my life, my success was about me. It was about what I could do, how I can do. Once you remove yourself from the equation and you make it about someone else, bro, it just feels so much better.
Why do you think early on we have this desire to have achievement? Especially when you're young. I mean, you probably had the same feelings I did. I'm going to be young and wealthy and I'm going to have all this stuff. I mean, you did it. You did it far better than I did at that age. Why do you think we chase that stuff instead of like deep satisfaction? Is it because we don't understand at that time?
So I think it's different for everybody and what they're going after. For me, it was something I was told I couldn't do. And if you tell me I can't do something, just give me a little bit. I'll figure it out. That's the way I am. I'll figure it out. If someone's done it, I'll do it. And if someone hasn't done it and came close to doing it, I'll do it a little bit closer. That's just the way I feel. But my dad told me, we passed Bon Jovi's house when I was a kid. And I was like 14 or 15 years old. And I never saw houses that big. I didn't understand because we lived in a small house. And he said, those are rich people. We'll never be rich. Bro, you just turned the switch on, dude. What is rich, right? Then here comes FTV Cribs. This is rich. Rich is material, right? The big house. So, all right. So I just chased it and I went after it. So just like my coaching now today, like I'm trying to be the best at what I do, bring the best people around to what I do, and create myself a circle with some of the best people. Hence I'm going to be with someone that we both know in the next couple of days. It was just, through communication. We met at a speaking event, and that's just kind of how it happened. And you got to surround yourself with greater people who give you a greater purpose. But at the same time, when you start seeing other people winning, that fulfillment for me now today is so much greater than anything I've ever done in my life.
Oh
When I
yeah.
get a text message or a message like, bro, thank you. Like, dude, I got a message on the way here. I can't thank you enough, man. Everything you've done, every way you showed up for me, everything that you're showing me, and everything that's going to happen. I'll never forget what you've been doing for me and what you're going to continue to do for me. And I'm here to make my family proud, but at the same time, I know that I'm making you proud. Like that, dude.
Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
priceless. That's better than an Escalade.
Way better.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what people don't understand. Like people are like, oh, you're a coach. People pay you. Yeah. You know, of course I did the work. You know what I mean? I literally, you pay to go to college. You went to college. You paid to go to college. You learned from someone who doesn't even know. They taught you out of a book, but they never used the shovel. Shame on you. I said, but I used the shovel, sold the shovel, you know, bought another shovel, sold that shovel too. So at the end of the day, I could teach you how to use a shovel. You went to a professor that never professed, but I've professed. So let's just re-engage that answer and then think about this again.
I had that conversation with my daughter this morning because, you know, she's a sophomore and we were talking about, you know, all of her friends at her school are going off to college. And I was like, you know, college is just one type of education. There's 100 types of education. And she's starting to open her mind up to the fact that, I mean, as a sophomore in all these AP courses, she's far smarter than I ever was book smart throughout my whole high school career. You know, I don't think college is what it used to be. Like, are you telling your kids to go to college?
None of my kids went to college, and my daughter's already out. She's 2 years away. She's already out. I told my kids, here, you're going to go to college. You're going to be one of four things. You're going to be a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant, or someone who makes 6 to 7 figures off of your degree right away. If you're not any of those four, you're wasting your time.
Yeah.
You cannot learn from people who teach out of a book. We went to school from first grade to 12th grade for 12,000 hours of our life and got taught by average people how to do average things. And look at where the world is today. The only people who actually succeeded were the ones who didn't listen to that average work and went out there and done above average things. And that's a very small part of society.
So why do you think parents are still pushing? Is it just because they went to college and
The
they're
same
like,
reason why parents push religion and push this and push that. It's cultural. It's what their family has taught them. It's what they do. Oh, we got to go to church on Christmas. Oh, we got to go to church on Easter. I mean, yeah. Do you think God's like, hey, thanks for coming today? You know what I mean? Like, no, he wants you there every day. You know, at the end of the day, people just do things that they're taught, but they don't really know anything behind it. Same reason why people hate people in history, because somebody taught them to hate them, but they have no real reason to hate them. People follow trends versus following true intuition. And that's a problem.
so speaking of trends, you know, in the workplace today, what is your sense on creating a highly disciplined culture, a high performance team? You know, do you think society's gotten soft and weak and the work ethic's broken? Because I just keep thinking about the types of requests and comments that we hear from time to time about wanting, you know, more time off or more, you know, more flexible this or that, or working from home. And being in the events business, you know, we're in the business of gathering people together.
Mm-hmm.
So if we don't gather ourselves, how can we expect a company to pay us millions of dollars to help them gather too? You know, and I'm not saying it's the end all be all. We have remote people because, you know, great talents all over the country.
Yeah.
But like, what do you think about the workplace today, and how can business owners, real CEOs, shift a culture to be much more high performing through discipline?
I think number one, culture and core values are two things that have been missing in most companies for history. Once you instill core values, number one, you're going to hire based on core values. Once you do that, it will create a culture because everyone's on a winning team.
Yeah.
Most companies hire for position placement and job role fulfillment. That's it.
Yeah.
They don't ever, I would rather hire somebody who's willing to be the best player on the team, learn, execute, than somebody who knows it all. Because for me to untrain that person who knows it all and is going to try and challenge me on how I do things, I'm not for it. But people go, oh, that guy's highly qualified. I want to hire him. What's a problem? If that guy's not willing to be part. So everyone that I coach, like a lot of people, I make them hire and fire. I had a coaching client yesterday. I'm like, you got to fire her. He goes, I go, how many times are you going to tell her that she's doing it wrong, that she can't do this? The more you allow it, the least growth you're ever going to get from it. I said, here's your problem. You have no core values and you have feelings. Your feelings, her feelings. This is your business, dude. And she's affecting your business. She's affecting everybody else in your business because she's doing what she wants to do. Everybody sees that. Everyone wants to play for the winning team. How many times do you think the NFL draft is up there and some guy gets drafted on a team in the NFL? He's like, trade me, someone take me, right? But at the end of the day, listen, I'm a Buffalo Bills fan. We don't win Super Bowls, dude. Apparently,
Hey, I'm a Vikings fan.
Apparently, we don't go to them anymore either. So, but the culture of the Buffalo Bills is incredible. When someone becomes a Bill and they're part of the Bills Mafia, bro, it's incredible. And they are so honored. But then you used to be, oh, you're going to go to the Bears. Really? The Bears? That's where I'm going? You're going to Tampa Bay, right? Well, Brady's not there anymore, so I guess, maybe I have a shot. But a lot of these teams don't have culture, right? So you take culture and then you take core values. Why was Tom Brady so good?
Because he led people.
No, because Bill Belichick instilled culture and core values of the team, and he took the most influential person on the team and allowed him to do his best, which allowed everybody else to play their role. So when we look at a team sport, let's look at a business and compare it to a team sport. I do this with my clients. You're the CEO, you're the head coach, okay? The head coach has the idea and the plan, but the head coach never plays the game.
Right.
The head coach scouts talent. And when he scouts talent, he says, okay, this is what we're looking for. This is what we need. What was it? Deion Sanders' kids was like supposed to get drafted in the beginning and he didn't because he's a he's got ego. Nobody wanted him. And his dad had nothing to say because he was raised in a standard that my dad's the best. I'm going to get something because of my dad. Bro, and that kicked him so hard in his face. And nobody wants him. He wasn't going to be part of a culture. He wasn't going to be part of a standard of a team. He was going to be his own player. And that's exactly what happened to him this year. So people want to be part of something where they feel a major part of it. So I always encourage people, don't call your people employees. They want to be part of a team. And when everyone feels like they have a role and they're participating and they're engaging and they're actually doing something to create a W, dude, it's the best feeling in the world. But when people feel like they just work for you and they're an employee for you, no. So this whole cultural shift in business today, and for some of the most successful businesses throughout history, team members. Most people never become leaders because they want to be the boss. You can't be a boss and a leader at the same time. It just doesn't work.
How would you define for people who are trying to figure out, well, what's the difference between a boss and a leader?
A boss dictates, a leader delegates. A boss is like, you listen to me, this is how I do it, blah, 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 like whatever, like comes in all hard. And it's my company. You listen to me. No, a leader's going to be like, hey guys, here's where we're at. We have our team huddle. We have our team meeting. What are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on this? A leader opens up to how everyone feels about something and how everyone can participate. A boss is like, you do this, you didn't do this, you did this, and is pointing the finger all the time. And once you get out of that role and you go from the boss to the leader, your entire business will shift.
So this is an interesting thought. Stephen Bartlett on Diary of a CEO, he was talking about how when you've hired a lot of the wrong people and you realize your culture needs to change, it's like turning a bus around in an alleyway, So when you think company culture,
abandon that bus and get a new one. You can't change people's behaviors, especially if you have allowed it for so long.
So it's time to move on.
Get rid of people. It's like cancer, dude. You got to cut it out.
I completely agree.
And a lot of times the business owner is the cause of the cancer because they allow people to just do what they want to do just because the seat's being filled.
Yeah, I mean, core values has been a major shift for us, making sure that we hire, fire, reward on our 4 core values. We have them on the wall right out in the lobby, you know, positive,
Important.
creative, effective team player. And we teach on them every single week. And I think it's made a huge difference for us.
Super impactful.
Yeah. How do you, if you've got a culture that's maybe in question, how you can't, obviously you're not going to fire everybody and turn it all around in one swoop. Obviously probably start by fixing who you hire, right? But let's say you
Your
start,
new hires?
yeah, you got
No.
to, no,
Nope.
because
Because
they'll,
your old hires are going to cancel your new hires. You got to hire somebody to replace you. So if you're a CEO, you got to get a CFO or someone else in there. Hey, I've hired so and so, and they're coming in here and they're going to make some changes. And you take yourself out of the authority role, you put somebody else in the authority role, and you allow them to instill the disciplines, and you see who's going to check the box and who's not. You start at the top, dude. You don't ever start at the bottom.
start at the top.
Fire yourself, rehire it for the person that you want, replace yourself, put somebody else there, allow yourself to be now the idea of the company, the owner of the company, but not the operator anymore. Get somebody in that seat to take care of operations and allow them to instill the new habits that you want to create in your business.
So what do you say to guys? I have a few friends I know that they keep hitting the ceiling, you know, oh, I can't get past the $3 million mark or whatever that is. And it's very obvious they're operating. What do you say to guys that are like, I can't afford to hire a $200,000 leader to run this business. I am that person.
Yeah.
What do you tell those guys? Like, because I know what I say to them.
Most of my clients are those people who hit the ceiling, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, 5 million. And I go, and they all say, I can't afford it.
Yeah.
I go, you want to know why you can't afford it? Because you're doing all the work, you're burning yourself out, and you're still wearing multiple hats. Here's the problem in business ownership. You don't own a lane, therefore your people don't own a lane. Whatever your business operates on, if there's 5 things, 6 things, 7 things, whatever that need to just take your operations every single day, there's a job and a role facilitated for that. You need to put somebody in that lane and don't allow them to cross over. So my one coaching client, he's got A person and B person, and they cross pollinate. And they're always looking for something to do. They're always asking each other. Why? They don't have direction. Lanes, right? So here's how I explain it. I draw it on a board, and I draw, let's say they have 4 lanes. I go, here's your 1 lane. You're the CEO. Here is your operations lane. Here is your management lane. And here is your sales lane. Why is your salesperson taking care of jobs in operation? Why are you the CEO taking care of sales? Every time you cross a lane, everybody's got to hit their brakes. Every time you cross your lane, everyone's got to hit their brake. Singularity of focus. You do what you're good at. If that person needs help, replace them. They're no good. If you can't do your job, replace you. You're no good. If we have to keep bailing people out, we lose momentum. So I say, just imagine we were going 1,000 miles. We all put our cars, we're all in 4 lanes. We all put our cars in cruise control at 50 miles per hour. Then we all put our cars on 100 miles per hour. But for the next 1,000 miles, we got to keep crossing lanes. Who's going to get there quicker? 50 miles per hour. Because you got to keep hitting the brakes, bring your speed back up. Hit the brakes, bring your speed back up. You keep losing momentum. So the minute you can fill the lane and keep everybody with their blinders on, this is your job, your accomplishment, everything I need you to participate in, that's it. Bro, you just watch what happens.
Yeah, we actually hired a guy to just be the coach of the new sales team. So the sales team that hunts just new. And it's amazing to have a person that's dedicated to coaching and growing them and keeping them in their lanes. The amount of productivity we've seen just in the last 3-4 months is numbers we wouldn't see in an entire year because they're focused on that one lane.
So here, check this out. You just answered your question from earlier. How do you stop looking at all of your YouTube and everything? You got a girl who does it. Take it off your phone and stop. That's her lane. Stop crossing her lane. You're getting in her lane. You're getting her confused. You're not allowing her to do her job. And you're questioning what's going on without her creating what needs to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe it's because this podcast is kind of like a startup in a way. But you're right. I should implement my big business model here.
If you treat it like $1 billion business, it will pay you like $1 billion business. If you treat it like a hobby, it's going to cost you.
Yeah, no,
right?
dude, this is.
So at the end of the day, if you go out there and buy a Chick-fil-A franchise, you're the owner. How many CEOs of a Chick-fil-A or owners of a are in the kitchen? 0. How many are in the building? 0.
Don't need to be.
Hey guys, there's only like 6 chicken sandwiches on the line. Like, what are we doing? Out and comes back fast enough. Relax.
I just love that, man. That's speaking to me because there's a lot I don't know. Maybe it comes from uncertainty too. You know, when you're new to something, like this.
Stop saying you're new to something, bro. You built a business already and you sold it. Every business is the same.
Yeah. No, you're right.
You're a control freak.
You are so right. This whole room is like, they agree. You're right. I am.
You're neurotic.
Okay. Yeah, you're probably right. I probably am. Compulsive.
When you feel like you have to check in, go do something else.
I gotta find a new hobby do something or something,
else.
Man.
Just go do something else. Go sit down with your kids and read them a book or something. Do something else.
Oh, well, I'm gonna start by getting those apps off my phone.
I'm telling you,
and I'm gonna shut those notifications off.
And the first hour of your day, don't go on your phone. Don't do 2 hours yet. Do 1 hour.
Okay.
Watch how because here's what happens. Now Charles wakes up. I can have my cup of coffee in peace. I can wake my kids up in peace. My house is quiet. My head's not facilitating noise. I've got myself ready. I've drinking my water. I'm hydrated. I'm ready to go. Whether you're going to go work out or whether you're going to journal, whatever you're feeling, now it's out. All right, I've released myself. Now I'm ready for the world. You've allowed the world to dictate the rest of your day the minute you wake up if you go on your phone. Here's how I associate that. You ever kick your foot in the end of the bed? Stub your toe?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks, right?
Yeah.
How many times a day do you tell people about that? You know what I did today? My toe. But who cares?
Nobody cares.
Right. Leave it at home. Your toe hurts. No one cares. No one needs to know you kicked your toe, but you're allowing that to become the identity of your day.
Yeah.
And now you have a victim mentality instead of a victor mentality.
Ain't that the truth? Yeah, I've never really told somebody about stubbing my toe unless I'm cursing in the minute.
Well, you probably told your wife or you told your kids or whatever, like, can you believe I kicked my... Yeah. All right. We all do it.
Okay. So how do you tell guys when you're coaching them, when they've got fears of making these big changes, like letting that person go that you know is toxic? You know, we've talked about at this table, I've had a lot of conversations about that, is letting go of toxic people. But there are a lot of feelings associated with that, right? There's fears. And I know forget your feelings type of stuff, but how do you legitimately help leaders let go of things that are scaring them?
You let them answer their own questions like I'm letting you do. If nothing changes in the next 6 months and you keep allowing this to happen, what's going to change? Nothing. Okay? If we just change this over the next 6 months and this was implemented, what's going to happen? The world of difference. Okay, you just answered your question. So now it's up to you to make the decision if you're willing to suffer for the next 6 months and the next 12 months, the next 18 months, or if you're willing to make a decision. Your fear of change is allowing you to stay stuck and not be at your greatest potential. So you're going to allow a feeling to hold you back from a win. That's up to you.
Why do you think we do that? Do you think that's uncertainty? Like we're like, I don't know if that change is actually going to do something, so I'm going to weigh myself 3 times a day?
Bro, we all know that the change is going to do something. We tell ourselves, I need to change this. I need to get rid of this. I need to get rid of that person. The minute you make that decision, you do it. The minute you feel uncertain about somebody in your business, get rid of them, because you will have that feeling for the rest of their employment. Every single time you look at them, you're always going to question yourself. And then when you finally get rid of them, why didn't I do this a long time ago?
Yeah.
Every single time. The minute you feel something, I was literally talking to my friend on the phone today. He's like, bro, you have like, he sent me a message. He lives in Mexico. He's like, you got some like crazy execution thing in your life. You say you're going to do something, you don't even think about it and you just do it. I go, it's conviction, bro. If you tell yourself you're going to do something, there's no better way to show up than to do it. Because a lot of people talk. A lot of people talk a lot of shit, but very few people show up.
Yeah, I have a motto in my life because people tell me they're going to do a lot of things, just probably like they do you. And I always say, well, we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people say a lot of things, but it doesn't mean they're going to do them.
As we do.
We all 100%. I mean, that applies to everybody.
I always bring it back to kids if you have kids. All these things you're allowing to happen in your life, if your kids did that, how would you feel about it? If your kids came to you with that problem, how would you address it? If your kids looked at you and said, hey, Dad, you said you were going to do this, but you didn't, and here's what you did, how's that going to make you feel? Because we always do it for our kids.
Yeah,
if you're doing it for your kids, do it for your kids. If you're not doing it for your kids, shut the up and just do it. You know what I mean? Like everyone wants to use their kids as an example, but you're priming your kids up with the in your head, and you're showing them all the fear. You're showing them all the things. My kids are fearless, dude. They can give two shits.
Yeah, it's like we lie to ourselves and we treat ourselves worse than we would other people. Isn't that weird?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Dude, I could talk to you for days. This is insane.
Pre-show, I told you this was not going to go the way you thought it was going to
No, I know. Look, at the end of the day, I think discipline is one of those things that's a journey, right? It doesn't happen overnight. And there's a lot of things you've made me aware of that I'm going to use. That's powerful stuff. Sarah's going to be so much happier with you now that I'm going to stop bothering her about the YouTube follows.
There's two things if you want to start instilling discipline in your life, you have to remove. Well, four things. 2 words, I can't and I'll try. Can't is not a word, doesn't exist. And trying something allows us to be, hey, we did it, we participated, it didn't work, I can go back to my other thing. You don't try to do it. If you try to lose weight, you're going to be fat forever. But if you're dedicated to losing weight, you're disciplined, you're going to lose weight. Success stories happen because of discipline, not because people try things. Hey, try this. Tell me what you think when you're eating food. Automatically, your sensor's like, this is going to taste like shit. I don't even want to eat it. And you eat it, you're like, yeah, it was all right. Right or wrong. Yeah. But because this is the way our brain operates. If we try something, all we have to do is participate. And as long as we participated, we showed up. Right? And then the other 2 things are excuses and blame. So now let's bring ourselves back, and this could be the end, whatever. When you're a child, your children, you, me, when you're a child and you want something, how resilient are you? How much grit do you have?
Oh, yeah.
Like unstoppable. Unstoppable. If your kids want ice cream at 4 years old, do they get ice cream? Absolutely. Why? Stop. If I buy you ice cream, will you stop? Why? Because they don't stop.
Yeah.
As we get older, something happens. Now, all of a sudden, somewhere in our life, someone in our family, someone in our association hands us these 2 garbage bags. And they go, okay, kid, listen, you're in real life now. This bag over here, you can fill it up with excuses, and this one you can fill it up with blame, and it'll be okay. As long as you carry them around, hey, it's okay. That's what everyone else does. And then as we go through life, we just go in our excuse bag and our blame bag, and every single thing that happens in our life, we want to blame it, we want to make an excuse for it. Why this and why that? When in between those 2 bags, one on each shoulder, the main problem is you. Once you release those bags, you've got all the weight lifted off your life, and you now have no more excuses. Everything going on in your life is a direct correlation to you. If it's good, if it's bad, you participated. And once you take personal responsibility for your life, game over.
Do you think the reason we do that, we have excuses and blame, is because we think it's going to make us feel better?
No, it's because other people somewhere down the road have made it okay. Our parents, like these kids today that get participation trophies. So I coached my kids when they were younger. And like we used to get the boxes of medals, if they came in second or third, and the parents would be like, yo, I didn't get the medals. I go, we lost. They go, well, my kid wants a medal. I go, well, your kid's not getting a medal. There's no substitution for number one. There's no substitution for winning. And I'm not teaching the kids I coach that second, third, fourth, fifth place is okay and go hang this on your wall because you showed up. No, you want a medal, you want a trophy. Next year, you do better. Bro, parents hated me, dude.
I bet they hated you. But my kid, Timmy, wants his medal.
Well, that's good. Go buy Timmy an ice cream cone. That's where he really wants. But some of the best players that played in some of these sports, like this one kid's a D1 wrestler. You know, my son was an amazing football player. My other son was a baseball player. Some of the parents hated me. I didn't care. I'm not here to make your kid feel good. If you want them to feel good, bring them back to daycare. This is a sport. It's competitive. And that whole competition in this world is gone somewhere. When you go to high school, you want to raise a, he ain't going to play football. He'll be a cheerleader. You know what I mean? And I'm not raising cheerleaders here. Sorry.
Yeah.
And people hated it. And I didn't care. And the reason why I didn't care was because I knew that I would do no good to those kids coddling them. I've coddled nobody in my world.
Yeah, and they're probably better for it, even if it didn't feel good in the moment.
Yeah. My daughter would fall, cry, get up.
What do you say to people who are like, have a heart?
Oh, have some emotion, feel bad. Listen, you fell. It's not like you broke your leg. It's not like you broke your back. You fell and got a little scratch. Big deal. Everyone gets a scratch.
What do you think the benefit to your daughter is in having been raised that way? And the kids that actually were on your team and didn't get a medal, what's the benefit to them? Discipline?
Discipline and knowing that there's no substitution for hard work. That's number one. You want something else? My kids never had video games, ever, to this day. People told me I'm rotten. I go, I'm rotten. Why? Because you want your kids to stay busy in their bedroom while my kids are outside on their quads and their dirt bikes, having fun, falling, scratching their leg, breaking their leg. Who cares? They're learning something. They're taking their competitive advantage. They're doing something. What's a video game going to do? It's going to distract them to stay away from you so they're not in your hair. Sorry, that's not a way to live.
That's so good. That's so good because I'm thinking about last night. My kids were, it's a cold, dark night out, and I look on the app, tells me what internet is being used, and my kids are downstairs on their video games, and I shut it off. And I kid you not, within 2 minutes, they're yelling up from downstairs, "Hey, Dad, turn the internet on!" And I was like, "No, it's a school night." And now, after this conversation, I'm taking those devices and I'm putting them in my gun room, and I'm going to leave them there.
If you're going to allow your kids to do stuff like that, just like you do the gym, hour a day, half hour a day. That's it. Because what we do is we disconnect our children from society because that's what everybody else does. Mm-hmm. How annoying is it when you go out to dinner and all these kids are on their iPads?
It's the worst.
I'm like, you parents are terrible. I'd rather my kids be throwing food at the neighbor's table knowing that they're engaging.
Oh, I know. They're turning into zombies. Oh, yeah. No, my kids won't. I don't do that. But dude, it is a battle as a parent. Those screens are like crack to those kids. It's tough. It makes me wonder what that's going to do to our society when 98% of people are doing that. Those are kids that are being raised to go out in the workforce and complain that they have to work on a Friday.
Bro, most employees are on their social media all day long because of that.
Yeah. And if you want to stand out, just don't be like that. That's crazy. Think how much more a company could do if that wasn't the case. Oh, it's wild. Dude, Dan, this has been great. This has been amazing. Thank you for flying out here and being with me, coming to Well, you're from Jersey, so it's not like it's that bad. But coming from Florida or wherever, I'm sure you'd rather be
I was
there.
just in Mexico on Monday, so
Yeah.
it was a lot warmer
Yeah,
there.
yeah. So thank you for coming to frigid Minnesota it's February while we're filming, but thank you for coming up here. It's really great.
I appreciate the invite.
I look forward to getting to know you better.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah. How do people reach out to you?
So my biggest platform is going to be Big Dan Official Instagram. That's where if they're going to DM me anything or follow me, that's my biggest platform, or YouTube. But I have a website, dansachkowsky.com. I own every single Big D domain out there. Big D Coaching, Big D Mastermind, Big D Speaking. I own them all. But dansachkowsky.com will funnel you everywhere to me. All my social handles are on there, or just find me on Instagram.
Thanks for coming.
Appreciate it.
If you like this episode of Cleared for Takeoff, make sure you leave a comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, of course, share it with somebody that you think would love it. And of course, check out my company, IDCOM. We do events all over the country. And if you're looking for the best team in event production, check out idcom.com.